I'm glad that I don't have a girlfriend, and then I'm glad I don't have kids, because then they'd say, Dad, why do you talk so softly? Are you embarrassed of what you're saying? And I would say something like, no, I've just been told to put a cloth around my face for a year, and today was the day that, in the most cloth-worthy place of having a cloth-worthy appearance over your face, wasn't having them, us, put cloths over our face, and I felt like I needed someone to scream at me when I walked in. In Dragon Tales, they always say, I wish with all my might to fly with dragons in the land of heart. But then I wish with all my might that this is a whole bunch of Japanese band from Japan. Some guy's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing in the weeds? My heart goes out to every mother who has given birth just because they were having to give birth. Everything's delicate, and the reason why some things are more delicate than others because they're made differently, meaning better. And so then what other things you can also have instead of being synthetic, like having GMO that is electronically driven go into your system and have you be a byproduct of the electronic depletion that it expels into your body after eating it. This is what your nerves are made up of. What are nerves made up of? Whatever they are, they're different than wires, and they're the same thing. Nerves do your wiring to your body. If you get shot in the jaw, and then you're going to go ahead and get that healed up if you're still alive, then the nerves in your jaw will be kind of open, as opposed to not getting shot in the jaw. And so if you do something like chewing tobacco, that opens up your blood vessels in your jaw. If you put it over the area of the nerves that got damaged, it'll feel tingly, not only just because the tobacco is opening up your blood cells in that area, but just tingly because of the sensation of being wired differently, because your nerves are open if they've healed and have been moved by being shot. And so these nerves are what are better than wires, and robots have wires, except nerves are shorter and they're open and they're already programmed. There's a certain thing also in your hand. If you get it hurt, you can get a cyst in your hand, and that's where all the nerve endings don't allow you to close your hand or open your hand all the time, and it can act up and start twitching. And that's what our damaged nerves called in the hand. They're cysts, but you can get a cyst anywhere on the body. But just because you got shot doesn't mean you have cysts. But they do both contend with nerves. So the nerves have different aptitudes of being hardwired different. But you don't want to get them from GMOs and get it hardwired without getting shot, because that can be 10 times more confusing if it's doing the same thing. And the things go bad with your transition, you can get another one, but the car will never be firing off on the same cylinders, especially if your time ribbon, your time belt is off. It'll be working against you. Look at this kazoo. Ouch. Look at this kazoo. Curb stomp kazoo. It's really bad stuff, but if you are behind closed doors or under the bleachers like Mike Rowe, he can do both and achieve without hurting anyone, because he's done some extreme stuff to get to that measure. The accidental consequence can be bypassed if you're fancy, but you have to take extreme measures in order to not be unlucky. A lot of things people do for no reason, other things people do and they don't even try, but it just hurts everyone. I'm unfortunately both of them at the same time, but that's really scary when people believe that is their identity. There's guys who are dangerous, there's girls who are thinking dangerous things. And if you're trying to be a guy and a girl doing both of those at the same time, as your identity of not knowing any better because you can't figure out which one you are, is like the third most dangerous thing that can occur with those first two examples.